Started writing this, I'm going to use the same techniques that I use in every chapter. I'm going to go into the 15 Kentucky Friar directory, and I'm going to run new py, and our program should be called friar.py. And now I'm going to open that, friar. I can close this now. And the only thing this program is going to take is some sort of input text. And that could be file or text. So it's going to be input text or file, and it's just going to be a string, and that's really all that we can say about it. And this program is not going to take anything else, so we can get rid of all the other arguments. Um, the input could come from a file, so we're going to use this technique that we've done before, where we're going to intercept the arguments, and I'm going to make sure to return the arguments. And then in the middle here, I'm going to say if the if os.path.isFile, if args.txt is a file, then I'm going to replace args.text with the result of opening args.text, which I can do because I just tested it that it's a file, and I'm going to read it. And we've talked before about the dangers of reading in an entire file that's going to come in as just one giant string. In this program, we're really focusing more on uh, regular expressions, so we're going to be using a small input file. That's going to be safe to do here. A lot of times in your normal work, it's probably going to be unsafe to use read because you might be dealing with very large files. So it's all dependent upon what you're trying to get done. So let's take that, and then let's just start off by printing what we have. Oops. I'm going to say print args.text. And so the idea is that I can say friar foo, and it's going to say foo, and I can give it the inputs. Let's make sure, like say the fox, and I can see that it's going to print that. It's printing an extra new line there because the input there from the file has that new line on it. I forgot to do .rstrip on that. Let me fix that and then run that again. And there we go. That's what it should look like. And if I run the program with foo, it prints that. And if it run with the file, so great. That looks okay so far. What I show here is that there, oh, well, so we can, run here with cooking. And right now it just echoes back cooking. And then there's a file here in the inputs directory that's local to this this program. I can run with the inputs, and there's a bit of poetry by William Blake, and we're going to be using that to transform to test this. And so what we want to do, I see here, I'm actually going to, so I have the text, and I want to split it into lines. So this is a function that we haven't used yet. This, when we read in all of the text, it's going to be, let's just open up a Python here, and I'm going to say the text is going to be equal to open in the inputs here, there's a blake.txt file, and if I read that and then rstrip it and look at it here in the REPL, you can see here the new lines are represented with a \n. And if I call text.splitlines on that, it's going to give me back everywhere there is a new line, it's going to break that into a different string. So what I'm showing here is that we want to preserve the lines of text that are coming out of the file or from the command line. So we're going to use the split lines to do that. So here, rather than printing args.text, what I'd like to do, and I show here, is for line in that. So let me change this to be for line in args.text, and then I can split lines. And I could say print the line. So let's just look at that. Again, what I'm trying to get at here is a way to process each line of text so that I can preserve the shape of the input text. Let me show you what that looks like if I run. It looks exactly the same. So one of the things to note is that split lines gets rid of the new line in between. It's taking that character and removing it and then breaking the text on that. So there is no longer a new line here at the end of that line. So when I print the line, I'm not going to be printing an extra new line. And then what I show next is, instead of printing the line, let's split that, and I just want to look at the words because I need to break it down into each individual word in order to find the words that end with ing. And let's just take a naive approach to that and use dot split and see what we get. If we run this now, we're going to see that it does indeed break it into word-like units, but we can look here and we can see that we're going to have a little bit of a problem. And the reason why I'm using this text is because I was specifically looking for instances where, for instance, the ing word bumps up against a piece of punctuation. So for here, going is terminated with a question mark. So we're going to have to find a way to break that question mark off. Um, and and here we see there's the word you that we're going to be able to find. That should not be a problem. But you could also be followed by a comma or a period. So it doesn't matter. We're going to have to figure out how to break up the text from the things that's not really text. So that's going to be a challenge. And that's something that we're going to talk about. So make sure you're at this point with me before you move on to the next video.